This was wild to me. In the late 1960s, somewhere in the West Greenwich Village section of New York City, at Lila Karp's apartment, 12 women led by Kate Millet sat around a large table and repeated this chant. So when you say repeat, because I'm going to read it, when you say repeated this chant, was it something, because it's quite long, was it memorized?
It was, I don't know if it was memorized, but it was like a litany of sorts. I mean, it was just something
it's like a demonic litany. Listen to this. To make revolution, what kind of revolution? The cultural revolution. And how do we make cultural revolution? By destroying the American family. How do we destroy the American family? By destroying the American patriarch. And how do we destroy the American patriarch? By taking away his power. How do we do that? By destroying monogamy. How can we destroy monogamy? By promoting promiscuity, eroticism, prostitution, abortion, and homosexuality. Dear Lord. And this Millet, Sheila, was thought of as the high priestess of feminism.
Mm-hmm. The female Marx was her other title. So Mallory Millet is Kate Millet's sister. Mallory Millet is still living. She and Kate grew up in Minnesota, and both were sort of on the same somewhat radical tracks. But Kate Millet ended up, she was just a genius, but she was very much a radical feminist. She was studied under Wilhelm Reich, who was he wrote the book, The Sexual Revolution. Mm-hmm. She was this kind of new left or Marxist mouthpiece. She wrote the book, Sexual Politics. And she was on the cover of Time magazine, and she ended up, I think she was married, or I know she was married, and then she ended up coming out as a lesbian and had all this mental illness, was in and out of mental institutions with schizophrenia, all kinds of things. I mean, she was just kind of a hot mess. But her driving goal was really just all of that. I mean, she just wanted to she wanted this revolution to happen. And she's a firm believer that, women needed to be as tough as men, and she saw that toughness in abortion. She thought, Vietnam was going on, and they would see people dying from, especially innocent people, and say, well, women need to be that tough and kill their own children. And I mean, she was just a diabolical, awful, awful woman. And so Mallory at some point had this big conversion, became Catholic. And it was really interesting, actually, because I had read some of Mallory's content. This was years and years ago, because I cover Kate Millet in my book, The Anti-Mare Exposed, as well, probably a bit more thoroughly. But so Mallory had written all this stuff, and I thought, I need to know more about this. So I reached out to her one night. I'd been putting off reading this for months, and finally I wrote to her one night after reading her stuff at like 1 a.m. And the next morning I wake up, and she was like, you have no idea. I think this is a real answer to prayer. She said that she had just spent the whole day, while I'm thinking I need to read her stuff, she's just in this depths of despair, thinking, I will never get the message out. How do I get the message out that this woman has destroyed our culture? How do I somewhat bring some reparation to what she's done? And so then she gets this email from me. And it was great, because we talked on the phone, and it turned out that she was going to mass that morning with the priest that celebrated my wedding. So we had this great connection, and our good friend, Father Vincent Lopez. So anyway, it was just this amazing connection. But so Mallory has been really instrumental in providing me a lot of the research on Kate and Kate's involvement in the movement. Just, even things like the way that we treat mental illness in the United States. I mean, much of that was from Kate's influence, the fact that people are on the streets in California. This is a lot of her, because she was a big advocate for not having people institutionalized. Okay. Just let's let them out. And so that, she just, the women's studies programs that we have in the United States, so many things. She was involved in just this incredible destruction that we, so few of us know who she is, aside from Mallory's work or my books. She just kind of flew under the radar. And she really, because she was so mentally ill, I think people just stopped promoting her. Unless you lived through that period, you wouldn't really recognize her as this incredible influence in the feminist movement.
Right. I want to tell you about a course that I have created for men to overcome pornography. It is called strive21.com/Matt. You go there right now, or if you text STRIVE to 66866, we'll send you the link. It's 100% free, And it's a course I've created to help men, to give them the tools to overcome pornography. Usually men know that porn is wrong. They don't need me or you to convince them that it's wrong. What they need is a battle plan to get out. And so I've distilled all that I've learned over the last 15 or so years as I've been talking and writing on this topic into this one course. Think of it as if you and I could have a coffee over the next 21 days and I would kind of guide you along this journey. That's basically what this is. It's incredibly well produced. We had a whole camera crew come and film this. And I think it'll be a real help to you. And it's also not an isolated course that you go through on your own, because literally tens of thousands of men have now gone through this course. And as you go through the different videos, there's comments from men all around the world encouraging each other, offering to be each other's accountability partners and things like that. Strive21, that's strive21.com/Matt, or as I say, text Strive to 66866 to get started today. You won't regret it.